Dr. Rupali Shirke, working as an associate professor at Walchand Institute of Technology, Sholapur in Electronics Department. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss with the GSM services, its bands, frequency bands and features. The learning outcomes of these sessions are: students are able to understand what are the service provided by the GSM systems, in which band the frequency the GSM system works out, and what are the features of the GSM system so it can be used for the service. The contents are going to be covered are the GSM service, GSM bands and the GSM feature. Yes, do you know how many numbers of mobile subscribers all over the entire world? Okay, this graph is showing you the numbers of smartphone users worldwide, and that data is collected, or this graph is presenting from 2016 to 2021. Now, if you compare this graph, now from 2016, the numbers of users or numbers of subscriber is almost double till the 2021. It is seen that the more than 6.3 billions of subscribers are presently using the smartphones or mobile phones, and they are provided with the different provided by the different service provider, that are the different GSM networks, and they are using a different services of the GSM system. Now, why this GSM system is being used, or how the evolution of this GSM system has been made? For that, let us see the overview what exactly when history behind the GSM system. The GSM system is formally, the name abbreviation GSM stands for the Groupie Specially Mobile. It was founded in 1982, but now we are recognizing that abbreviations as a global system for mobile communication. Pan-European standards are the standards that is a company's or ETSI, which is nothing but a European Telecommunications Standard Institute, which are providing the standards like protocols, bands of the frequency, features, and the security purpose, all the algorithms they are deciding this, and this is a standard. This is an institute which is giving the standards for the GSM system. Simultaneously, they are introducing the essential service in the three phases in 1981, in 1984, and 1986, and this was overall administered by the European Telecommunication. It is also providing the seamless roaming within the European possible. A roaming facility is previously it was being charged. Nowadays we are not getting any charges for the roaming facility. Roaming are nothing but when you are changing from one location to the another location, then your network has to be connected, or you have to be provided with the mobile network. That property is nothing but or that service is called as a roaming service. Now, also today many providers all over the world uses the GSM system. Compared to the other, there are various telephone services provided, but the GSM is almost widely or commonly used. 219 countries in the Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, America, they are been using the GSM system service. More than 63 billion subscribers are been, just now we are seeing through the graph, and they are connected hundreds of millions networks. Nowadays there are so many network providers, and round up to that almost 100 millions of connections are being established. More than 75% of all the digital mobile phones uses the GSM system. And over 29 billions of SMS are being used, which is nothing but which is the renewation generations more than the 10%. Now, you are seeing that the comparison of out of 100, 75% are using the GSM system. Why? Because the performance characteristics of the GSM systems are very well defined. Let us see what are that performance characteristics of the GSM system. That is, the first is the communication. They are basically used for the communicating between the two sources or two subscribers, and to interchange the information we are using a communication media as a mobile, which is a wireless service. It also provides a wireless service for the communication. It supports both type of the service, that is traffic data as well as the data services, like voice transmission can be possible as well as the data transmission can be possible. Next is the total mobility. The network or a number or a subscribers can be accessed internationally. Means you can have an international call, you can have a local call, or you can have a landline calls also. Wherever you are moving, as you are in the mobility, you can access to the network. It is a chip based enabled, means it's a portable device, and they are access to the single point or a enable chip card enabled device. So you can change that chip to the any accessing point, so as to provide a service. Now, the whatever the number you are being assigned by the network are being worldwide varied, or they can be worldwide be connected. Suppose your friend is staying in the America and your mobile you are staying in India, you can connect them through your same numbers to which network. No other international number you are being provided over there. The same number can be used for the connectivity between the worldwide. This also has a network handling localizations, means when you are moving, that number itself consists of its country code, network code and the subscriber code number. High capability. The GSM as it is using the frequency reuse concept, they use the better reuse of the frequencies are made, so a better frequency efficiency is possible. More numbers of cells can be utilized, so that the power requirement for the transmission is also be reduced, and more stations can be more cells can be provide the service, so that more numbers of the subscriber can be increased so the frequency efficiency is also being increased, and more customers per cell can be utilized. Next is a high transmission quality. The audio video quality is good quality, as well as it is a reliable uninterrupted phones calls like a speed when you are in the car or in the it also provide with the high speed data services. Next is a more important function is the security purpose, that as the data is going to be transmitted into the free space, it is very important to take care about the data which is being transmitted to the free space. So the GSM system has a function of the security, that is for the authentication via the chip card as well as through the PIN. There are various algorithms which are used for encrypting and authentications of the data. Now, the GSM, what are the services provided by the GSMs? There are the three types of the services provided by the GSM system. One is the telephone service, one is a data service, and one is a supplementary service. The telephone service are the voice calls for the use for the communication purpose, that this voice calls may be originated from the mobiles, or they may be originated from the landline phones also, telephones. Data services like internet facility, you can mail, or you can get the files, you can download the files, you can upload the files, you can transmit the files like in a form of the internet computer network connection, like a packet data traffic. Next is the supplementary services. The supplementary services are the call diversions, closed services, closed user group services like SMS and MMS. The bands of the GSM systems. The GSM systems works into the three different bands: 900 megahertz band, 1800 megahertz band, and 1900 megahertz band. What is the band exactly? The band is nothing but a frequency in which the mobile subscribers or users are allocated a spectrum for the using. As this frequency, the band of frequency is related with the distance, inversely related, that is f is equal to 1 by d. As the frequency increases, the distance decreases. As the distance increases, the frequency is going to reduce. Now, these frequencies are being used in two forms. As from mobile to the base stations, they are called as the uplink frequencies, and from the signals which are coming from the base station to the mobiles are called as a downlink frequency. These bands of the frequencies are divided into two forms, that is the uplink frequencies and the downlink frequency. Now, let us discuss with the 900 megahertz band how they are being, what are the frequency, uplinks and downlink frequency in them. The 900 megahertz frequency, in the 900 megahertz frequency band, we are having the two bands, 890 to 915, which is used as the uplink frequency, and 935 to 960 megahertz bandwidth is used in the as a downlink frequency. These two frequencies are being separated by the spacing, so as to separate at the uplink and downlink frequency, which is of the 20 megahertz band. Now, this 915 to 890, there are total 25 channels which are being allocated, and each channel is of, again divided with the, they are separated with the 200 kilohertz bandwidth, that is at 0.2 megahertz bands. Now, if you see that out of these 10 divisions, only 5 band frequencies are being utilized so as to avoid the interfacing. The other 5 are not being used. They are used for the separating of the frequency. For example, if it is being allocated with the 890 band of frequency, the next service will be provided by the 890.2. Next will be 890.4. So, out of 25 into 5, it will be 125. 125 minus 1, which is used as a guard frequency, and total 124 channels are available as a uplink frequency. Similarly, 124 channels are allocated as a downlink frequency. So, the total available channels are 124, which are called as a absolutely, and these channels are being numbered by the absolute radio frequency channel number. Now, you can see and from this only that we are providing to the as a duplex channels for the two-way communication. So, there are out of if you reduce the upper frequency 890 and 935, you subtract this, you will get 45 channels. Upper first lower frequencies or for last upper frequency, you are getting 45 duplex channels for the communication purpose. You can see these are the total uplink frequencies and downlink frequencies, that is total 124 channels are being allocated. The next band is 1800 megahertz frequency band. Here same thing, this is a 1710 to 1785 and 1805 to 1880 megahertz frequency. Same frequency separation is again with the 20 megahertz. There are total 75 frequency channels, out of again as only 5 we can utilize, separate them, and 75 into 5 it will give you the 375 minus 1. There are total 374 channels which are being used for as a absolute radio frequency channel number for the 1800 megahertz frequency, and 95 as a duplex channels. The next is the 1900 megahertz frequency band. Here the separation is from 850 to 9110, in which, and this frequency separation is again with the 20 megahertz frequency. Total 60 channels are allocated. 60 into 5, it will give you 300, out of which one is used as a guard band. So total 299 channels are available as a absolute radio frequency channels, and 80 duplex channels. So we can see that the total, based on the frequency, these are the numbers of channels. As the frequency decreases, the number of channel increases. As the frequency increases, number of channel increases. These are the few more bands separating the uplink and downlink frequency and number of channels. These are the references. Thank you.